Hi there, I'm Lorena Stevens. I have, probably over 30 years of experience in the publishing industry, and I've worked all sides of the desk, from writer to editor to publisher. So I thought I would start a series of workshops, or not necessarily workshops, talks about writer's craft, to explore all the different aspects of the business of writing, and in part about the business of publishing. And if you want more information about me, you can visit me at fiveriverspublishing.com, and you'll find everything you need to know there. And of course, we'll always welcome comments about this video, the subsequent videos that I'll be producing, as well as any questions you might have on the business of writing and publishing. Today, I thought I'd talk about something not particularly sexy, but something that really does need to be addressed if you plan on writing with any sense of seriousness at all. And that is your workspace. Yeah, I know. As well as your equipment. All well and good to say that I'm going to start to write, but I think you'll find that your impetus very quickly peters out if you have to keep cleaning up after yourself. Whether you're working at a kitchen table or a dining room table, there are meals to be had, or if you're working uncomfortably off of your living room sofa or something like that, you need to have a desk at the very least, with a comfortable chair. You're going to end up spending very long hours, no doubt, once you get started, in your chair at your desk, creating articles, stories, novels, nonfiction books, whatever. So you want to make sure that your space is well organized, and that it's dedicated, and that it's comfortable for you, with the least amount of distractions possible. So assign yourself a workspace. Yeah, if you're lucky enough to have a spare room, or say a basement, or even a closet that you can transform into a writing space, I will highly recommend that you do that. Something that's going to be out of the way of any traffic if you cohabitate with people. Something that's private, and as I said, and you could close the door on, close the cupboard on, whatever. I've seen some pretty phenomenal adaptations of closets for a writer's space, and I think that that's actually a very good use for a closet that you might not necessarily be using. Some of them have been quite inventive, even to the point of creating a TARDIS looking space. Whatever you do, just make sure that you do assign yourself your own space. Where you see me now, this is my workspace. Actually, it's a temporary workspace, to be honest, because my actual office is the other end of this loft. I don't know if you can see on the video here. There's plastic hanging up from the king post in the loft of our 150-year-old home. The other side of that plastic is what will be my new office. But I've been working up here in the loft, one end or the other, for the past 19 years, and it's a terrific workspace. The lighting is great. I've got 2 skylights. I've got 4 awning windows. So the light is actually really lovely. And I'm removed from the rest of the household up here, so I can isolate myself and concentrate. I consider myself pretty lucky to be able to have this kind of a space. Not everyone's going to be able to do that. But as I said, if you can transform a closet, a portion of your basement, somewhere, an extra bedroom, whatever, make sure that you've got yourself a great writing surface, and space to be able to put your equipment, which brings me to equipment. Yes. How you choose to physically write is entirely up to you. So if you want to go old school and do pen to paper, that's great. At some point, however, you're going to end up having to transcribe that to some kind of a word processing program. So either you're going to get yourself a desktop computer or you're going to get yourself a terrific little laptop computer. Don't try and do this on a tablet. Don't try and write on your smartphone. Just give yourself a break. Get yourself either a really good laptop or you could use a tablet actually that has a keyboard attached, but I think you're going to find that a little bit restrictive. So my recommendation is either a laptop or a desktop computer. I go really old school. I've got a desktop computer and I've got 3 screens, but I ended up going whole hog that way, not just because of writing, but for when in the days when I used to operate Five Rivers Publishing as a publishing house that published other authors as well. So it was really important to me to be able to have 3 screens, because at any given time I would have anywhere between 15 and 20 different windows open, and easily 6 to 8 programs running. You don't have to do that. You may find you may want more than 1 screen, because you may find that you're going to have your reference notes in one document and then your actual working document open on another screen. So it saves having to constantly open and close windows if you have more than 1 screen. That's going to be restricted by your budget and obviously your preferences. And if you're going to use a word processing program, and I'm going to really alienate anybody who's an Apple user, I'm sorry. You need to use Word. There is no other word processing program. Use Word. Why? Because it's the industry standard. That's why. You're going to find that you're going to end up having to, if you're working with some other word processing program, you're going to end up having to transfer those files into a doc or a docs format, sometimes an RTF, if you're going to be submitting your work to other publishers, magazines, whatever. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. It's the industry standard. It's like trying to drive down, if you're in Ontario, it's like trying to drive down a 400 series highway in a horse and buggy otherwise. And you may say that that's just my personal bias, but having worked this long in the industry, I just know what standard is. So just do it. Just get yourself Word. You can kvetch about it all you like, and about the big master Microsoft, but just do it. Beyond that, beyond having a computer and a really good word processing program, yeah, you're going to need to be connected. I'm very often contacted by people who are writing their memoirs or their family histories and that kind of thing, and wanting to know if I'll publish them. Sorry, no. And if they can send their manuscripts to me in print, no, sorry, don't do that. Everything is digital these days, so you just need to make sure that you're connected to the internet, and also from a point of view of being able to access all kinds of research, because Google has very much become the new encyclopedia. Not that you should rely entirely upon what you find on the internet, but it is, think of it as an index. And so that's your launch point. You can find some basic information and then go about going to the source of that information to continue your research. I'm digressing, however. So you've got yourself space, you've got yourself equipment, and once you have all that set up, you're comfortable, then you should be able to go ahead and start creating your opus magnum. I'll talk to you later with another series or another installment of this series. The next one will be Genesis of Ideas, and we'll go through that from the concept of initial concept. Perhaps you're inspired by a place, an emotion, an event, something, one individual thing that will spark your creative juices and create the genesis of your next story. Hope you enjoyed this, and be talking to you soon.